right, viewers, welcome back to another episode of our podcast series, the Young Turks Dialogues by Crobstacle. And this is our episode number 54. And today we have our very special guest back again with us. But this time, this episode is going to be a serious one for all the entrepreneurs and marketers watching because David sir is going to throw some bombs. So, today, what are we talking about, guys? What do you think in the market is going on right now? Right now, there is a lot of funding crunch for companies, but yeah, there are a few companies that are still able to raise fund. And fundraising is something that is a very serious topic for all the entrepreneurs who are growing their startup and even for any business because you never know when you might need that fund to run your business further. So today, me and David sir have decided to talk on this. Of course, I am still a bootstrap company. Crobstacle is still bootstrap, but David sir, he has been working with a lot of companies, and for his over the past 4 decades of experience, he is going to be sharing those insights to you, especially on how, as you entrepreneurs or young business owners, can take things further with your business. So, David sir, let's relate this to rich learning. Tell us what is happening at rich learning. What interesting is going on?
So once again, Anmol, thank you very much for having me on the podcast. It's always a pleasure to be here and discussing things of great interest and relevance to entrepreneurs out here. So yeah, talking about fundraising, now there are two aspects of fundraising. One, fundraising is for a for-profit business, and other fundraising is for the non-profit business. So the approach, although can be similar, but there are little bit tweaks that we need to understand when you go in for-profit and non-profit. So let's talk about the non-profit one. Right now, as I said,
Before that, sir, let our audience know to understand what David sir is telling and for which business. You can check out our previous episode. I will link it here. It will come up here. The team will put the link here, so you can understand what rich learning is all about. So now, sir will continue the conversation from here.
Okay, so as I said, there are two aspects. One is for profit and for non-profit. So let's tackle a non-profit one. In a non-profit one, basically you're looking for donors. You are raising funds through donations and donors. And also, if you guys know, Google has got a grant for non-profit organizations. They give you $10,000 a month to use for using Google's ads and the support. So it can be used for Google, part of the YouTube or whatever. And of course, you need to engage social media for that purposes. And that is one of the best way to raise funds, especially when it comes to a non-profit. And
So
of
it
course,
is all digitally well connected. What I see.
exactly. And then you should have a platform where you receive the money. And again, when you receive, if you're using a payment gateway, okay, now in this age you pay by digitally you pay money. But if you use a platform on your website like Stripe, there is a fee involved. But for non-profit, if you go to for non-profit, there is another avenue where you don't have to pay a lot of fees as opposed to a business. So there are a couple of things that you have to understand how to raise money for non-profits. Basically, non-profit is always through donation and appeals. And one of the things that we found out, your appeal should be so good and emotionally prepared. Like people should feel emotional about the whole concept of what we're doing. In our case, we are looking at giving away, the Metaverse goggles. Of course, we are talking about goggles in the last episode, but it's not going to be goggles anymore. It is just going to be this, like
Right.
this. And so we are looking at giving away 1 million units to kids who can never afford high tech education and gaming. The neurosciences of the
Yeah.
education that we talked about. So we were in our conversation with so many other people. We were introduced to Google, and we had we call her the Google gal. She is 3 years top Google person to use for non-profit grants. And so we are working, and we are about to launch. I think we're supposed to launch 2 weeks ago, but there was some hitch in the system that we found out on our own website and the platform that we're using. But now I think it's happening next week. We are going all live, raising $10 million for the non-profit. For the non-profit, so we can give
That's a
away
big
these.
amount. $10
Yes.
million is not a joke, guys. Those who
Yes.
are watching, listen to Sir how to raise $10 million.
Yes.
But this is
So
for non-profit, and after that, Sir will show you the path as well for how you can raise for a profit organization.
yes. So that's one avenue we're looking at. So what happens is the nonprofit basically who owns the IP now for the program will be actually, once they get the money, yeah, they will have us exploit it in a way so the for-profit group can actually go ahead and create this whole environment that we're talking about, risk learning, using AR, VR, XR, and in the metaverse. It's doing with everything to do with motion, activities, art, and dance, uh, uh, just happening
So
in front of screen.
here you referred Metaverse, sir. So last time when we posted our last episode, one guy commented on some of our. I don't remember the platform. So he asked that the hype of Metaverse is not there anymore. Will it still work? So he asked something like that. So
It
what
is.
do you have to say on that?
Although there is a buzz around that it's not working, it's not going to happen, but eventually it will happen. Technology is changing because on the platform there are so many things that are changing, and as it evolves. But in the end, you'll be living in this space because the goggles or the glasses are already in production. They
Right.
they have they are testing it. So perhaps people have this, it'll not work because sometimes what happens, people are looking for a quick return on an investment but sometimes some of the technology will take time a little bit more.
Right. It's like
So
how personal computing came into the picture.
exactly. So it's going to happen.
It is.
People. So from the investor point, they may say, "Oh, it's I don't want to invest now. I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that," but but the person who's got a vision will not. He will just push ahead.
Yeah, Facebook invested some billions of dollars into it, right?
Exactly. When they first started, I know when the websites came into being. I've told you before also. Just
Yes.
imagine the banks, Citibank, one of the top banks in America, said we are never ever going to use online banking. Today, any
Today,
bank
everything. Yeah.
you don't have online banking, they don't work. So what happened? So if that was the buzz in those days, Citibank is saying e-commerce not going to work. Everybody say no, let's not get into this online banking is going to be a failure. It's not going to work. So
Right.
same thing with metaverse. People are talking about it's not going to work. It's not doing what it's supposed to doing. Technology is changing. But visionaries will never step back. Always remember one thing: if you have a vision, you run with it. You don't retreat. That's how vision is, like seeing ahead, not looking behind.
Right. Yeah, that is something very important for all of us as entrepreneurs because even with us also at Crobstacle, many people have come us and told, "Oh, market is already very competitive. We won't survive and all." But
Yeah.
when you carry the vision, you just keep working on it every day, and things happen. And now it's 4 years of run. We have been working with David sir. Like I think I met David sir in 2021, and since then we have been connected. Sir has seen we have been working with sir as well. We have done some projects. So yeah, that is it. If you have the vision, you just keep moving it on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what about sir? When preparing for funding for a profit organization, because
Yeah.
that is
So
something of I think interest for many of the people who are watching it.
right, for the for-profit is a different ball game. You have to look for investors. Now there are different kind of investors. There are angel investors, VC investors. Uh, high network people who want to invest. Again, in our case, we're not talking small amounts. We're talking into millions of dollars, multi-million dollar projects. So for us, it has been a challenge because some of the investors who have come to us have been okay. We can only fund maybe 250,000. We can do half a million, but 250,000 and half a million for us is only not even actually a slice of a proof of concept. The proof of concept itself for us to go and pitch is going to cost us $250,000 because this whole technology is so immense, and you have the people have not cannot imagine what we are talking about. Unless you are a techie, you are into the gaming, you are into neuroscience. They understand what it is. So you know, investors who are just doing some investing. Okay, you want to open a startup company? I'll invest you. This is not a startup. This is to do with education, with technology, with neuroscience, and it's huge. And like I told you, our supporters are from Harvard and Tufts and John
Yes.
Hopkins. these are not small timers. These are well-known organizations who are backing us up. So when we go to an investor, we go with some credentials behind us. We
Right.
take that along with, and so yeah. So even so, for us, should I take 3 or 10 people who are willing to give me $500,000 to make 5 million? Or do
So,
we need?
how do you decide if I should be going to an angel investor or a venture capitalist, and how do I decide how much I need?
Yeah.
Because it's
So
something.
that's a very good question. First of all, you must have your business plan. That's very important, and then you should have a pitch deck. What's a pitch deck? A pitch deck is exactly telling you what the company is, what you need to do. You have to have your financials. Okay, this much money you will need. What are you going to do in the first year? Where is the break-even point? Which year are you going to make? So all that they want to know, because investor wants to know. Okay, how are you going to spend my money? And sometimes if an investor maybe on a larger big budget or big investment, they may say, okay, I need equity, perhaps, or also maybe I will need to be on have a seat on your board to see how the money is being spent. So there are various models. So it all depends how much you're trying to raise. So as I said, for small amounts, angel investors are VCs are best. But then when you are looking for the money that kind of we are trying to raise, we are looking at huge organization, with huge pockets, who understand technology, who are visionaries themselves, who have foundations basically into education, and they say yes. So as I said, we've been for last now. Um, just after COVID, we started looking for investors, and I've traveled around the world to meet with investors, and other people. People have come to us, Dubai and Hong Kong, and in Americas. We have people, investors who have come to us, and the irony is we found out that the money is not clean. Even just imagine an investor. What we had one incident. Investor say, I can give you the 10 million if you need right now. Uh, but he doesn't have a stable Zoom connection.
Right. So, when looking for an investor, does the business cycle also matters? Like for us, like we just have crossed the startup cycle of first 4 years, where
Correct.
90% of the startups fail.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
does that matter as well to an investor or as
Yes,
an entrepreneur when you are going for an investment?
absolutely. If you already started and you say, I'm in stage, this again, the pitch deck. The pitch deck will actually tell you, okay, this is where I'm going to reach. This is my target. I'm here now, and this this area or this period is only good for me to do so much, and I need to reach there. I need more funding. So your pitch deck is should be so strong and convincing. So whenever you have a pitch deck ready, when you're presenting, you put everything on the table for the investor to understand. Okay, where are you? What are you doing? In our case, we are looking for investment only for the first tower. We have 6 towers in our
Okay.
the language tower, the math tower, the science tower, the virtue tower. We are only looking for the first tower. After the first tower is built and we have got subscribers, we don't need any more funding. We
Okay.
will not, because we will be
So,
self-funded.
so is this pre-seed funding or like what it is? It like
Yeah, you can call it as a pre-seed funding.
pre-seed funding.
Yes,
Okay.
that's okay. But it's a huge
So
amount.
it is the, I think, most difficult phase to raise fund because
Exactly.
है ना?
Because people have not seen, and that is what, because people have not seen, we are working on, we are right now at the phase of doing the proof of concept. So we can actually put it on a laptop and show this is exactly what is happening. This is how the environment is happening. So then they understand. But we can be talking, because I've raised funds, now what, 20 years ago, when e-commerce first started. $350,000 for just talking. I went to a client's place. I was talking to them, and I said, "Show me." I said, "I can't show you anything. There's nothing out there right now. How can I show you?"
Right.
But this is the way it works. So I just put it on a flow chart, and this is how the engine works. This is what it'll do. The step will happen. So they looked at me and said, how would they believe me? Why would they want to just say, okay, here's $350,000 for you? It's how you develop the trust. How
So what
transparent,
I
because some
understand from you is that initially an investor invests in the business person and then the entrepreneur.
exactly.
What I
So
understood.
yeah, so when you are standing in front of the investor, your body language, what you're pitching, does it making sense, or you're just throwing something out of the blue? You know, how genuine you are in your conversation, how honest and how completely transparent. You got to be there in front of them, and they'll see
Because
through it.
he's also taking the risk. He does not know if he will get the
Exactly.
order, but rather he is investing into the person.
Yeah, and they will always, be say you always attack. The investor will say, okay, we want to do your due diligence. Yeah, please provide him all the support. All the references that you can give him. So I know these people. You can talk to them about us. They have been supporting us. This is who is who. Again, who is who in the business in the investment world also matters. Who are you talking to? Who are the people? Again, as for small entrepreneurs, I've told you before also that you need to just not sit in your office. Okay, we are in the way. Get into seeing people, live people. Go meet with them. You know, last time I was with you in
Right,
February, I came. We've been doing this over 4 years on Zoom and on phones and stuff. But I said no. I need to come and see you guys. You
right.
guys, you need to
And it
see
was
me
a
too.
totally different experience. The kind of
Yeah,
conversations we had. So,
I got to see the team. I could interact with the team. I built a rapport. I know who's who. You put a face to a name, and that's how you build relationships. It cost, yeah, it did cost me to come from
yes,
Canada to India. I took a plane to come
yes.
visit you. It did cost me, but
It
that
did
is
cost. Yes.
it's if you don't put the money, if you say I'm not willing to put up costs, you're not in serious business. It costs. You will not even know that it costs you how long you will have to keep spending money. But
Right.
that's how it
But yeah,
is.
that is how it is. I think, yeah, it all makes sense because even I have seen, if I talk to some of the prospective clients over a call, and if let's say things doesn't go good, but if I go to Gurugram or Delhi or wherever they are and meet them, so things change a lot. Like,
Exactly.
even if we don't do business right now, they remember me, and in future they get in touch with me. Yesterday only this happened. So a prospective customer, they are based out of US, so that time they were in India. So I went to Delhi, met them that time. Like 2 to 3 months we had a conversation, but the deal never converted.
Hmm.
But then now, as they want to restart something, so they reached out to us initially and asked us if whether we would like to help them or not.
Correct.
So, you know,
I had
so,
one customer call me last. They bought from me in 2006.
oh, 2000.
2006, and I got a call. Get the name. Hi, David. I'm so and so. You remember me? I said, sounds the name sounds familiar. Yeah, you sold me a product in 2006, but I need a new one now. Why would they remember? So many years have gone.
Right.
Because it all matters the kind of relationship that you build and the trust you build in the first product sale that you had. They remembered you
Right.
and they called you, say, please, can you just provide me the same product?
So, sir, like here, I would like you to, because even so, as I am also associated with, so we have been to Graphic Era for a session, me and David sir. So David sir knows Graphic Era, and you guys can search for it. I will put the link. So Graphic Era is a university. We have given sessions. So many young entrepreneur, you know, upcoming entrepreneurs have reached out to me, and even some of them who are running their businesses. So many have asked me about this thing, that because I also made this mistake. I thought everyone is my client initially, because that time you just want to do revenue, but that did to me a lot more loss than what I could have done better. If I would have gone in, if I would have a time machine, I could go back in 2020. I would have told the Anmol at that point of time that don't make everyone your client, because it will do a lot more damage than. So what do you think, like, does all of this matter to an investor when they are giving you a pre-seed round, because at that time your business is just about to start? So will
Right.
all of this matter to them?
Of
Does
course.
in the
So
longer run this impacts your market position if I have everyone as my customer?
no. So friendship. First thing is to make friends. You should read the book by Dale Carnegie on
Right.
friendships. You know
How to influence friends and win.
exactly. You read that book. First, you make friends. Now, this investor I told you is we're talking to. We met 2 years ago. Yeah,
Okay.
and we started a discussion. He was very interested, but at that point he says, this situation not so volatile at the moment, but we need to do this. Now 2 years we've been quoting, we've been chatting, we were having meetings, Zoom meetings. He's in Europe and sometime in the Middle East travel, but he's always always had time to listen to us because he found that this is something that I would be very interested when the time is right. And next week, we are pitching again to him. He says, I will have some investors. These are what they're looking for. These are the things that they want. So why don't you prepare a pitch deck that will address these things? So again, it's all friendship. Why you have a meeting. Oh, it didn't work in the first meeting. Oh, forget about it. Let's move on. No, don't burn your bridges. You make friends because you never know when you'll need them. But you can always go, listen. Last time I spoke about investing, you said this, but this time we have two new people on the team, and this is going to give a real boost because they have spent so many years in this industry, and they bring a lot to the table. And then maybe you want to have a chat. We'd like to introduce to the other two new people in the team. I say, sure, I want to listen to them. And after we had the meeting, he says, wow, this is so great. You know what? Let me do something. Give me time. I will try to figure out who are the best people who can actually listen to what you're going to say now. So it is important that you keep connections. You don't burn bridges. You keep in touch with your people, and make friends. In fact, don't ask for business. Of course, you do have to ask for business, but automatically the way you present yourself, automatically they will give it to you. See, yeah, I
Yeah.
know you can do a good job. Yeah,
I think that is the better way. It's like how you approach a girl. If you approach her
yeah,
directly, she will say no. So you
exactly,
have to take the other path. You have to present yourself. You have to
exactly.
talk to her in that way. I think the same thing applies here with
Yeah,
in business or in overall life. What I say, sales, the art of selling.
yeah.
I say,
Go say, okay, can we meet for coffee? You know,
yeah,
the first meeting you say, hey, listen, I like what you're doing, and maybe there is something that I can offer. But anyways, I just want, if do you mind having a coffee? Can
right,
have a coffee, have a chat. I say, pay for the coffee, okay, and
right.
don't sell. I say, that's nice meeting you.
And I
We'll
think
keep in
this is
touch,
the best pickup line in business and in life. If
right?
you ask anyone for a coffee and just for a chat, they will come. But if you say we want to talk business, then they will
No,
say,
I said, yeah, basically have a conversation. So I just like to get to know more about what you do and how it's just. Do you mind? Wow. I like one line I always use. Can I pick your brains?
okay, wow,
So
that is
now if I ask you, Anmol, can I pick your brains? What does it make you? How do you feel when I ask you? I like to pick your brains. That means you say, oh, I'm valuable. He wants to know
yeah,
something from me.
exactly, exactly. You want to
So
talk
I
about
say, yeah. So can we have a coffee? Maybe I'll pick your brains on this subject. Sure. Yeah. Somebody
it.
call me.
It always works.
Yeah. And then
So,
in the conversation, you get to know the person. You can ask the question which you think you can sell to the person. Yeah. Okay. I got this. I don't know if it's going to be used for you, but perhaps you know when you have an opportunity, let me know. I can do a demo or something like that, or maybe. And always when you're in the meeting, maybe somebody in your network. You would like to see that maybe this is important.
right.
Always ask for a referral. Always ask for a referral.
Right, it all makes sense. So, what about so we have talked about a lot of things, but how do I know that this investor is right for my business?
Yes.
Because
So
that is also one qualification, I think, because I've
yes.
seen many companies they have taken up a lot of funding, but then they found out, oh, this investor is not right. They are not understanding our vision. Then conflicts happen, and at the end, the business or the investor, they get into conflict or they die. So, what about it? What do you say?
You have to vet your investor also. As much as they want to vet you out to understand what you are looking for, you should know, okay, is he the right, or this group is the right investing company for us. You do a background check. We say, okay, who are you? Maybe they have a LinkedIn profile. Ask questions. What sort of funding? Who have you funded? Which organization you have funded? Can you share? Oh, no, that is personal. That's private. We cannot. So once that happens, we can. That means, how do we know that he is funded?
Right,
What is wrong with sharing the information? Because, okay, now first of all, I'm going to share my pitch deck with you. I'm going to share my whole plan with you. I first have to go out to sign an NCNDA, a
right,
non-disclosure. If
yes,
I'm looking for, so this, okay, so that's the first step. We have people. We said, okay, I'm an investor. Can I send you my NCNDA? I never got it back.
okay. Yeah, this has
So
happened with me a lot as well, sir. Well, like many prospective clients come, everything is done, deal is final. When I send them the agreement, most of them have like in
yes,
past they have run away because they don't want to do the commitment. They just want अच्छा एक महीने try कर लेते हैं देख लेते हैं क्या होता है यार.
yeah. No, they are actually wanting the ideas from you.
Right? They
They
want
will steal your ideas, and somebody will he say, you know what? Actually, I know somebody who can make this from me. You take your idea, give it to the person to make it, and then tell you goodbye. So for every investor who comes, say, can you please? Last time I was in Bombay. One person did not even sign. He's a big investor. He's in major firms, funded major firms. I asked him, can you? He said, "Oh, he's traveling. The secretary, he's traveling. He's not in here. He's gone away. He'll be back next time. He'll be back." I never got it. I never got it. What does it tell
yeah, it
me?
does not make sense whenever
Why?
that
So the
particular
relationship is not cordial at all.
it
That
is a
means
two-way road.
exactly. When I'm willing to tell you everything about myself, you just have to sign. Yeah, I can trust you, but there's no trust factor here. So sorry, I move on. Sorry, you're not the right person for me to. The moment you don't want to sign an NDA, fine. You know, a person has to be arrogant about it. Come on, you have the money, fine, okay, but how do I know that? First of all, the money is clean. Where the money source of money is coming from? Have you funded some company? I need to check people out. I have my own ways of checking people out. So be vigilant. Be vigilant. Who do you talk to? Yeah, sometimes I just need I need only 100,000. I really don't care. No, even that 100,000. Tomorrow you found out that this money was not clean,
Right.
and then you get into trouble.
Everyone is in trouble then.
Exactly.
Investor,
And then it comes on news. Oh, this person invested. He got the money from him, and actually, this guy had some unethical business dealings, and now you're in the in the loop just
yeah.
because you're a party
And
to
then
it.
you are stuck with it for the
Yeah.
rest of your lives.
In
So
our profile, you see everything. When you go to our website, we are very transparent about everybody on the team. You can call them. You can go check with them. You can ask them and we met them. All our people on the board. We have meetings. We meet regularly, and we also meet in person. And we're all over the place, all across the world,
right. I've
from
seen your website. There are a lot of
from
people.
Singapore right up to West Coast in Los Angeles.
Right.
We have in Europe. We have in Americas.
So, like we have talked a lot about this. Why not we talk a bit about some of the pitching and negotiation tactics? Because negotiation is
Yeah,
something that everyone wants to.
exactly. So when it comes to investment, it all is tiered. Say at the first phase, second phase, third phase. The
Okay.
bigger the money, the smaller the commission of the investor, or smaller the take that he has. But the smaller the one, then it can be anything. I've come to know that it can range from anywhere from 1% to up to 6%, depending on how much what's the raise. Yeah. So if you're looking for a small amount, then of course the raise it can be anywhere between starting from 4 to 6, a smaller amount. But it's a larger amount, then it will be 3 to 1, and it's a multi-million dollar amount, then it can be like 100,000, 100 million, for example. Then it's 1%. You know, and this is how you negotiate. So
So I used to think, and even many of us used to think that once you raise funds, investor will just put all the money in your bank account. So it's not like that. It is in phases. What you
yeah. So as I said, your pitch deck will say, okay, first 24 months, this is the development, because we are tech company, so it's a seed money to develop the proof of concept. So I need X amount of money to do my proof of concept. Second
okay.
phase is that I'm going into a minimal viable project, MVP. So the product is going to be there. So I need that much. Once it's there, then we go to the testing phase. So we need to spend money on the testing phase. Then I go to market. So I need to go to market. I need some marketing budget. So you'll do this, and then you say, okay, after I launched, I know my subscribers or my customers. Where are your customers coming from? Do your research. Who are your customers? In our case, we know who are our customers. Our customers are the moms, are the grandparents. They are the customer. They're going to subscribe for the child.
Right.
You see, so we know. So where are they sitting actually? So we network with groups. We network with groups who are actually targeting the mom. For example, for us, our group is the Peloton mom. The mom who spends $25 to on the Peloton machine to do her exercise. She spends 30 minutes on the treadmill. Yeah, she got her iPods on. She's enjoying. She's got, and the child is sitting down. The child is okay. So the
So
child is
you have
sitting.
to do in that in-depth research to
Exact.
know.
So we got these moms. These moms, Peloton moms, have got kids in our age group. The Peloton moms are not grandparents.
Right.
The Peloton moms are the 30 to 40 range moms, and they have kids which are in our group that we are looking at. So we are targeting them. So we are working with, okay. So we make a partnership with Peloton. How do you make partner? You approach them. You talk to them. You get into groups. Facebook is a great group for where are these people hanging out. And of course, in digital marketing, if you get into groups. That's why you don't ask for business. Never ever ask for business. You provide value. So even in our the groups that we just concluded the entire summer doing
Right.
podcast, just like what you and I are doing. We had a podcast. We invited industry leaders who are specialists, doctors of neuroscience, come on our podcast. You can go to our website, Facebook, Rich Learning International org, and the Facebook group. You see all our podcast, but
Right.
it's a private. You have to be. You have to. It's not open to everybody. We want to be serious about who's
Right.
going to listen to it. And so we ask how the brain works, how the child actually learns, what is the science behind this, what is the science behind activity, what is the science behind game, what is the science behind music, everything. So amazing, amazing podcast. So
So in
you
terms of negotiation, what are like your top three takes, sir? How do because negotiations are always tough, one of the toughest things of a deal.
yeah, again, negotiation, sometimes it is like some investors, they have their own uh, set ways to say this is what we are, because they have their overheads or they have people to
Right.
pay. Uh, but you can't do much of a negotiation in that factor, because when you really need that money, you gotta say, okay, if I'm going to get 100,000, if I'm going to go with 3% or 6% of 100,000, how much is it?
Right.
60,000. Oh, sorry, 6,000. It's I think you should be able to handle that. You're getting 94,000 in your hand
Right.
to play with. Okay, you got to say, okay, where is that money going to? Okay, so what were you thinking? You're thinking about maybe I give three, but you're not getting three. You're getting six, so 3,000. How do you account for your 3,000? Cost of getting the loan or cost of getting the investor. It's you can ask. There's never it's, it doesn't hurt to even ask. You say, okay, can we do four? Say no, I can't. I can't. That's the way. If you wanted six of this thing, then you try. But you always ask. In negotiate, you'll always ask if you can give it.
It's always about asking.
Yeah.
That's
If you
what.
don't ask, then so I like the offer, you know, but if you can do that percent, or maybe I can give you equity, they'll ask for equity. They'll ask for equity. I need 25% of the company for this kind of money, or I need 5% of the company for that kind of money. Can you give away? Because the company valuation right now may be only 1 cent, for example. But after you go to the markets, it'll be $100, isn't it, per
Right.
share? So you got to understand, and you should have also a valuation. You should ask the experts in the industry, what do you think about a valuation of a company like this should have?
Got it.
They will tell you you can value this based on our experience, this value. So you can actually go back to the investors. Listen, the value for this company, if it goes when we launch, this is what we're expecting. So maybe you should can we work on these numbers, this down the road, that's what its value is going to be.
Okay. So let's say now, as an entrepreneur, I have got the investment. So what about the from and because at the end the entrepreneur has to work on it. So how do we make sure that there is sustainable growth after investment? Because I've seen many companies till investment phase they are like crazy. Once they have the money in their bank account, they just go boom. Because this has happened with us. I cannot name that brand
Yeah,
because that brand might sue. But what they did is
I
that
know.
they yeah till that they didn't have the funding, they were pumping in money for marketing. The day they
Yes.
got funding, they fired everyone in the marketing department, they fired all the
Yeah,
agencies. It was like crazy.
that
So
is that is poor management. Basically, the poor it could be greed. Yeah,
yeah.
it could be anything. It's poor management. I know. Some of them, the employees were also like out of work. They didn't get paid. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's why you need a good team, and good team with integrity. You must
Yes.
see in business. If there's no integrity, no honesty, you cannot get ahead. Definitely,
I've
you'll not,
heard this
never.
from many good
Yeah,
like people like you who have been connected. So always tell me that you work with a person with integrity rather than working with
exactly. If you don't, if you don't want to work, fine. Not everybody is your client.
right.
Not everybody is your client.
Yes.
You know, because you say, okay, oh, I'll take this, I'll take that, I'll take that. Yeah, you need to grow a business, but at the same time, you need to be cautious who your customers are going to be, because
Yeah,
not every.
I have been in a situation where like I thought why I took this customer when I knew that this was a red flag.
Yeah,
Then I decided not to move ahead without agreements or whatever it is, whatever that happened. But yeah, this is totally true. Integrity is one of the must things because
yeah,
I have faced it. The consequences are far harsher.
yeah. Even when people come to sell, a customer calls and he says, I can get for $200 less from the other company. Well, why are you even talking to me? You just have to
Right.
go and just buy it from there. Why are you even coming to me to tell me that I can get this for $200 less? Can you match it? Why?
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 Yeah, recently when I was in Gurgaon, so one of the clients I met, so we discussed for a deal. So I will not name the exact amount, but let's take an example. It was for 1 lakh rupee. So when I went to meet them, my code was very clear. It was in written, everything was on mail, and they said no, but my budget is 50,000. I can only pay up to that. I said, see, your experience with the previous company, it is okay. I understand that, but you cannot put that rate on me. What they did is not my accountability. I will take accountability of what I deliver to you. And
Exactly.
you know me, I come up from a reference. You know, I've seen my work. You have hear from people who we have worked with. Direct testimonials I have given you. So I cannot come down on a rate which will be a loss for me. So they said no, but we can start with this. You will have to agree on this, else we cannot. So I have to tell them it's okay for now if we cannot work. Our relationship is there.
Exactly.
Tomorrow, if you need anything, I am there for you. But at this rate, I cannot work because my cost is far more than that. How can I work on loss? And
Exactly.
that's how that meeting went. We had a good coffee, we had a chit chat, and they went their way, I went my way.
Yeah, and they will come back. I
Yeah,
can tell
they
you
will come back.
that.
My dad also
Because
told me the same.
the reason they're calling you, because they've seen something different
Right,
than what they saw from there. You know,
right,
it's not apples to apples. Definitely not. You know.
right. Yeah, they will come back. I also think so because
Yeah.
I've seen in the past, because they once they go to market, they will do their inquiry. They will come back again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what about the? So let's. So we have already stretched this episode a lot. So last part we will discuss about the future plans in terms of your investments. Where are you going? What are you doing? And how are you planning to expand? Just that we will cover, and then we will be closing down on this episode.
Well, it is proprietary information. So what okay, just to give you an as I said, we are going. This is the first phase. We are going to the proof of concept. From the proof of concept, we're going to MVP. From the MVP, we will have some testing done with perhaps maybe 5,000 kids, and we'll show the investors, listen, this is what is the results, actual things will happen, and then we'll open it to the market, and when we target all our subscribers that we have been working, because even our board, when you look at our board, they are influential themselves with their own networks.
Got it.
Why did they come? Onto it, because they know that there's something different about this, and they want to be part of it. So then all the board will start talking to their network, and we are confident that this is going to work.
Right.
Yeah, it's been 14 years.
Yeah, 14 years and 4 decades of experience with you, and all of these guys who are associated here are like that only.
Yes,
I've
yeah,
seen their profiles on the website. So,
yeah. I used to say, eventually all these podcasts that we have done, hopefully we will open it up. But
right.
right now, we just want to make sure that serious people are listening to it, who understand the the whole concept. Yeah.
Though it all makes sense, even I will share this episode with the graphic era team. They will also see what the
Yes, sure.
upcoming future is there, and the previous one as well, because both of these episodes are linked, so they will get the crux of it. Perfect, sir. I think we have covered it all, and this episode was, I think, one of the most engaging episodes we have done because we, considering our mutual same interests on the topics of funding, entrepreneurship, and everything. So, perfect, sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for
Always a
joining.
pleasure to be here. Yep.
Pleasure to be connecting
Let's
with
do
you.
it again some other on another topic.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir,
God
for
bless.
joining. Thank you so much, our audience, for seeing this episode. And do like, do subscribe, do share this episode, and we will be back soon. Bye.